welcome to another installment of Apostles of GMS, giving all praises to Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai. Today this is a Apostles of GMS special. Today's date is February 8th, 2015. Yesterday we didn't do the show that we normally do on Saturdays in the studio because we had went down to the camp early yesterday. And then last week we didn't really do the show at the main studio, and there was another show that led by Apostle Gabar. He did a show because there was a situation where a car had to be fixed and we had to pick it up. And so, by the time we did all that, we didn't have time to do a show. So, we live in the real world. Things happen, But, we're here today on a so-called Sunday, the same day as the so-called debate coming on trial. I guess it's going on as we're doing this show. And I had called these apostles because I ran into a video on YouTube under the Sakari sit-down account, and he was on his radio show. What is that, G4U or something like that? They have like debates on some web radio, and he was on there. The Alizé, we call him Alazar, is his Hebrew name, and he had another guest. They had like a black atheist. And then there was this man, this dude, Divine Prospect, and he had made a statement which made me, stop the tape or whatever, stop the video, put it on pause, and I call these brothers and I said we got to do a impromptu show because the first one to introduce themselves was introduce himself was Alazar, and the second guy to introduce himself was a Divine Prospect. And what Alazar did, he said, "All praises to the Most High, Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai." Pretty much the way we said it, because he came up under us. And then Divine Prospect, and I'm gonna let you hear it. He said, "Peace, Hotep." Then he said, "In the name of the Most High, Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai." So I said, "Well, wait a minute." He basically said recently on one of the videos on YouTube, I forget what page or what account, he said that he kind of came into this thing. He was a Christian, then he was at John Jay College in Manhattan. That's that deals with criminal law and so forth. Pretty expensive college. And I believe he was there for like 2 years, but in 2008, he started really getting into the scriptures and going into Bible dictionaries, and pretty much he's saying that he's self-taught. He just came out of nowhere. So from 2008 until he came on the scene, what was that, late 2014, right? He just popped out of nowhere. He does classes on the Hebrew. He broke down the Hebrew, the Lashwan Kodash, and he mentioned that he had a booklet from the ISUPK, which is the same Hebrew that we teach, which is called Lashwan Kodash, which that's a name that they came up with. It simply means holy tongue. Lashwan meaning tongue, Kodash meaning holy. All right? So you can't find in the scriptures where it says Lashwan Kodash in the Hebrew. And then he spoke about the so-called Jews and the different dialects and the way people. He even spoke about Dr. York, Malachi Z. York, and the way he taught the Hebrew. But it was what was ironic was the fact that he praised Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. Now, did he get that from one of his Bible dictionaries or his study, his research? Because you have the this GOCC, they they call on the Most High. They call the Most High or the Father Ahiah and his son Yeshaya. And that was by the decree of Rakar, which we used to call him a bubble-eyed blackfish, just to get under his skin. But his Hebrew name is Rakar. So he's saying that the name of the Most High is Ahiah and his son's name is Yeshaya. Now, you got to ask yourself, where did he learn that? Where did he learn the Hebrew in the first place? I'm talking about Rakar. He learned it from One West. See, he came up under what you call General Yohana. He came up under him. So Yohana came up under the One West, and he learned the Hebrew from High Priest Ariyah. He was a Hebrew teacher. We had another teacher that really surpassed Ariyah, and he was a student under Ariyah. That was Shalimar. I mean, that dude could read the Hebrew just like you read a good reader reads in the English. I mean, he just wouldn't, no pauses or nothing, man, and he can speak it. And there was one point where I was speaking it, and Ariyah was speaking it, and me and Ariyah used to have conversations in the so-called Lashwan Kodash. Now, when we first, started going to the classes, Ariyah taught about the name, but he didn't say, well, this is the Most High's name, this is his son's name. He said, this is the Most High's name, this is his son's name, and we're going to go into the Hebrew and we're going to prove it. So if anybody questions you on it. See, back then, the Divine Prospect kind of teaches like Ariyah. He goes into a lot of books and a lot of documents, which is good. Like at one point, it was a required reading that we all read the Josephus. I don't put that on anybody to read because it's history. It's the history of a man by the name of Flavius Josephus, and he was pretty much in good standing with the Romans. And he was a Jew, an Israelite, and he witnessed the when Titus Vespasian, when they had that what was that called, that siege. He witnessed it and he recorded it. And he recorded certain things in history. He went into the book of Daniel. He had that book, the complete works of Flavius Josephus. You had these different subtitles: war, antiquity of the Jews, war of the Jews, and so forth. All right. So at that time when we was at One West, it was required reading. It was also required that we, speak for a minute. I'm gonna show him the book.
Khan, I got a quick precept. This is the book of Jeremiah 6:16. It says, "Thus saith the Lord, stand ye in the ways, and see, and ask for the old paths, where is the good way?" Because the old paths, which we do is we research our forefathers. And in researching our forefathers, you come across the laws, statutes, commandments of the Bible. You come across the history of the Bible. Certain things that are written in the Chronicles and Kings, Ezra, Esther, concerning history. But also we also deal with our language. Which our language is the Hebrew, or the Holy Tongue, the Lashwan Kodash. So that's all part of that old path. So if you're going to go into the old path, you also have to go into the language, because our forefathers spoke a language. They didn't just do sign language.
Yeah, and it's important to know that Hebrew and the Greek. When you go into the New Testament, the Greek, and you go into the Old Testament, or what you would call the Tanakh. Which is Tanakh. A lot of people, they'll spit out that they'll spew out that word Tanakh and don't even know the meaning of the word. It's actually an acronym. Okay, so you guys use these words and don't even know the meaning of these words, man. Another book that we had was the Holy Scriptures. Which hold this to my mouth. This right here, we had to go and get the the Holy Scriptures. Let me make sure I got it. Put my glasses on. Yeah, I see it. Yeah, right here. Okay. And you had the English on one side, and you had the Hebrew.